What's up, YouTube? I know it's been a while, but we're back with a SPY analysis so that you can know the steps that you need to take in order to be profitable when you're trading, right? We want to start looking week by week, day by day, hour by hour, so that you can know your entries, your exits, and everything you have to do so that you can be an efficient trader, right? This is what we're looking for. We're trying to extract as much money as we can out of the markets. And a big part of doing that is knowing how to analyze the market and having a plan and executing that plan. So let's get straight into it. I want to show you exactly what I'm looking at. I want to give you step by step how I'm breaking it down so that you can see exactly what I'm seeing. All right. So let's get into it. So right here we have the weekly chart. We're always going to start with the weekly chart. You can see we have the 9-period moving average here in red, the 21-period average in green, and the 50-period moving average in blue. Now these are some of the most common numbers that you're going to find when it comes to moving averages. These are going to tell you the primary, the secondary, and the major trend, right? So the major trend here is the 50-period moving average, and these are the smaller trends in the 9. And the 21 is kind of intermediate. So now when they're all facing the right way, that gives you a better understanding of where the market is going, right? Look how easy it was to trade in 2020 and 2021 as compared to right now, right? Where we were going down in 2022 and now we're going sideways in 2023. So it's very important to recognize market conditions so that you know exactly how much money to allocate to your position, right? You don't want to put too much money in if we're just zigzagging up and down. As you can see, for the last 2 weeks, we've been having a lot of whiplash back and forth, right? Up and down, up and down. So you have to be very aware of the market conditions. And the way that you start out, well, the way I like to start out here is by drawing a channel. So I'm going to start off here in the beginning, 2020. I'm going to draw this uptrend here, right? And I'm going to make it in the form of a channel. Now, I like to do it where the most significant areas are. So right here, this is basically where it bottomed out twice. But on the top here, I'm going to put it where the most significant area is. So we have this 2021 and 2020 uptrend. When it came to 2022, we broke that uptrend, right? Now, when we break a trend, I normally like to give it one more candle, right? So because this is the week, we sold off this week when we broke, right? And then I want to see one candle reclaim that. We didn't get that. So that confirmed pretty much that we were getting this sell-off. And we saw lower highs, right? So let's do another trend. And I'm going to draw it right here. Now, remember, I'm looking for significant areas. So right here it touched, right here, third time, fourth time, and then it broke out. So this is going to be my other area of significance. And then we have the bottom here, right? So this is the other area of significance. I'm going to change this and I'm going to make it, maybe I'll make it red so that you can see the trend. And I'm going to make it a little thicker so that you can see exactly where it broke out, right? So now we have this downtrend in 2023. I'm sorry, 2022. So now we have this downtrend in 2022. The beginning of 2023 is right here. So we broke out of this downtrend of 2022. We broke out, we have this retest, and we failed to make a higher high. This is exactly what I wanted to point out. So let's zoom in here. Zoom in a little too much. So let's zoom in here, right? So we had this breakout, right? 2023, you can see in this dashed line here. This is the beginning. So we started out strong. Buying, buying, buying. A little bit of a break here at the trend line. Then we broke out, retest, and now we're looking for a higher high. But did we get that? No. If I draw a horizontal line here, you're going to see that the last high was up here at this 418 area, right? And we failed to get above that line. Now, what I also want you to know is that right here is also an area of significance, right? Because we see that every time we get to this area, we sell off. So right here in 2022, we sold off. Then we came back up, tested this trend line. Right in this area, we sold off again, right? Now we came back to the trend line, sold off, broke out, sold off right here where we previously sold off, right? And now we're seeing another sell-off. So if we were going to draw a horizontal line indicating where does it get sold off the most, it's going to be this area right here, right? So because support and resistance isn't always just a line. It's also areas. So it's important that you treat support and resistance like areas and not just lines that go side to side. Now, when it comes to the trend lines, I like to I like to treat these more like lines, right? So now what I want you to notice is the higher highs and the higher lows. So we're gonna start out down here, right? Because this was the last low. And then we have a high here, right? Then we came back, made another low here. Now we went up again, and we have the next high. So what I want you to notice is that this is higher low and higher high, right? Now we came back down, made another low here. This low is also higher than the previous. But now we're looking at SPY, and we actually failed to make a higher high. So that is significant for you to notice, right? Why? Because we need to continue to make higher highs and higher lows. Does that mean we're bearish yet? In the weekly chart, we are bearish. We have bearish order flow, but the moving averages are still in the right order. We're still above the 50 period moving average on the weekly. And for us to be completely bearish, we would have to break under this previous low. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not bearish in the short term. We can very well go from up here and come down and make a higher low all the way down here. So that means that'll be like 4 to 5 weeks of selling, okay? Now, what I want you to look at is the more details, right? So when we go into the daily chart, this was the weekly. Now we're gonna go into the daily. I'm gonna zoom out here a little bit. So now that we see these higher highs, higher lows, and we failed here, we wanna have a little bit more detail. I'm gonna erase this line here, and I'm gonna draw the same way we drew these channels on the weekly. I'm now gonna draw channels on the daily. So I'm gonna go back down here on the Thinkorswim platform. I'm gonna hit my channel button. I'm gonna start off down here, right? This is where we started off. This is the last low. So we're gonna put it up against the price action that's significant right here. And we're gonna put the top right here. So I'm gonna make these lines a little thicker so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. All right. So let's zoom in here. So now we see that SPY had a bullish trend going on here. We can see that depicted with this channel. We can see it depicted with the moving averages, the 9, the 21. We're above the 50. We're absolutely bullish on SPY. So the last bullish move was here, right? And then we went sideways for the last 2 weeks. And now we broke down outside of this channel. So that is letting us know that this trend is over, right? But something interesting happened because now we have earnings. So we're seeing that stocks like Microsoft, Nvidia, right? Meta, a lot of the tech and communication services are actually up after hours because of earnings. So what does that mean? That means that, remember what I said before? When it breaks down out of the channel, I would like to give it one more day for it to reclaim, right? So if tomorrow we reclaim this channel, we can very well see the next move up, right? This is one day to the downside compared to the last 4 days being green. You know, not strong candles, but it was holding this trend. So I want to give it 1 day to reclaim this channel and see what happens. So now that we have the information on the daily chart and we have this uptrending channel, we can get more detail by looking at the hour. So if we look at the hour here, I'm going to zoom out. Right? Remember I said the last move was here. You can see it. We went straight up and then we broke that trend. So I'm going to draw a line to indicate the trend here. So we had this move up, and I'm going to zoom in here so that you can get a better look at what exactly I want to show you. So we had this move up, and then we had the break of the trend, right? So it broke right here. Now I'm going to draw a box out to show exactly the areas of significance. So we have this uptrend, we have the break, we have the top, which was the last high before the break, and then we have the first rejection here, which was the first buy-in after the break. So if this was the opposite, it would be going down and then a break and then the bottom and the first rejection, right? So we're gonna mark those areas to draw our box. So we're gonna go into here, we're gonna get a box, we're gonna draw it out here. So this is the top of the box, and the area that it first got rejected was here, right? So we're gonna draw that out all the way to the present price action. So if you draw this box out, you can clearly see that there wasn't a move like we saw here, right? This move was a bit different because now you can see that we were actually going sideways. So today we broke out, we broke down out of this uptrending channel, right, to the bottom of this box. So as you can see, we're up a little bit because of earnings. And I want to see if tomorrow we gap up and reclaim this, or if we're just going to retest and then sell off, right? Or we can open sideways flat and just completely sell off right off the gate, and it won't even go above this 409 area, right? So what are the three things we're looking for in SPY tomorrow? Well, the three options are, we can, one, reclaim this uptrending channel, and then we can see the next move up and get the higher high we were looking for on the weekly. Option number two is we open flat and we sell off, right? And then option number three is we gap up and retest this area here, right? So you want to see either a break or retest. So if you see any kind of rejection at this uptrending channel, you know that we have a good possibility of selling off, right? All up until this 406 area. Now, I also want you to notice that this 406 area is significant. How do we know that? I'm going to show you right now. Look at this. Right here, we bounced today. We bounced here previously, bounced here again. That's 4 times. Now let's go back a little bit to the left. We can see right here, this was resistance in the past, right? If we go back a little more, you can see that this was also another range over here, right? So now once you start pointing out all these ranges, right? Uptrend right here and right here. So you can see that that was a range, and then we broke down. This moved down to the downside, and we immediately came back up, retested, came down, and now we have this uptrending move here. So we're stuck in this range just like we were before. So now, are we going to bounce here and reclaim this channel, or are we going to come back down and sell off? On the 406, we can see us going back down to this 399 area, right? Because that was the previous support. And if we reclaim this channel, then we can see the next move up. Meanwhile, we're still stuck in this range of this box. You can actually expand this now that you have more data. So about here. While we're still in this box, you know that we are actually still going sideways. And if you look at the weekly chart, you can see that we've been going sideways for a while now, right? I'm gonna actually have another chart here that I'm gonna show you. So if you look at this chart, you can clearly see that we're just going back and forth in here since the middle of 2022. And now that we're in 2023, we're still stuck in this range in the bigger picture. So look at that. Right here in this range, we get up here, we sell off. We get up here, we sell off. We get up here, and now are we gonna sell off again? It looks probable. It looks like that might happen. But if we reclaim this candle, remember, it's only Tuesday. We still have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So for these next 3 days, because of earnings, we could possibly get this weekly candle to be a reversal. And then it'll finish as a bullish reversal. And then the next thing to do would be to get above this 415 area so that we can get our next higher high. So that's basically exactly how I break down this SPY analysis. And now we're looking forward for earnings to see if that's gonna take us until the next higher high, and we can maybe start getting bullish on this price action. So if you zoom out even more to the monthly, you can even see that this could be a giant bull flag, right? If things get better in the economy, you know, they're saying that the housing market is bottoming out. I don't know about that. I don't think so. We're seeing more banks have problems. But honestly, this does look like a giant bull flag. So this breakout here could be the next leg up. But first, we have to get out of this range, right? And it looks like we're going to sell off again. So we're giving it 1 day to reclaim this bullish channel and to get above this 410 area. So this 410 area is pretty significant. And then the next area that we're looking at is 415. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. I hope that you learned something from this video. I appreciate you watching. I'm glad to be back. I know I haven't made a video in a while, but subscribe and let me know if you have any comments, concerns, or if you have any questions. Let me know. I'll be glad to answer. All right. Well, thanks for watching.